not scoop.
Oh, no. I'm picking out a sofa because I'm going to get a new sofa. And so I was just online trying to figure that
out. Obviously, you've got Butterfly Effect. Well, your debut solo album, that's right, isn't it? Coming out soon.
Yeah, in September, yeah.
Yeah, and that's exciting times for you.
Yeah, no, hugely exciting time. It's been about I think it's been over a year now. I've just been in the studio over at Metropolis, writing and getting it done and recording when I could, and the fact that it's actually done and ready to come out is just kind of surreal. Like I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to do it, and just like almost shocked and excited and nervous and a little bit of everything to have it come out.
How come it's taken so long? Because I mean, obviously you do a lot of TV, and you do, you know, like sort of with that I'm a Celebrity and Next Saturday Night Takeaway, but you kind of went solo a while back, didn't you? And
Yeah. Yesterday I did on my own, just kind of like with a friend, way back when I was doing the jungle, my manager was like, why don't we release it? Like, why don't we, put it out there? And so I did, but I think the Butterfly Effect was really me getting back in the studio with wanting to pursue doing, an album and putting my heart and soul into it.
Woman Up. I just saw the video. I love it.
Thank you. You can pre-order it now on iTunes.
Cool.
It's not officially out, but it comes out in August, and that's when I'll be on the road. I'm really excited too because I'm getting to perform Woman Up on tour with Ant and Dec for Takeaway.
I know, that's crazy. Is this the first time you're doing it?
Yeah, I'm so excited, and it's just, I'm excited that I get to go on tour with the boys and then get to do my music, and it's kind of like both my worlds colliding in an awesome way. Woman Up was actually presented to me, so I did co-write on most of the album, but a song was submitted by someone, and I was like, oh my God, I love that, or I can relate to that, like I want to go in and record it. Then I did, and Woman Up was presented to me actually pretty early days of starting the album. And I grew up, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, and when they got divorced, I just really watched her struggle because she relied a lot on my father financially and just to kind of lean on towards everything. And I was like, you know what, screw that. It was kind of like my motivation to be like, I'm going to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and that, if a man comes in, it's just a bonus, like, but I can handle it all myself. And so when I heard the song, I was like, yes, this is totally, how I feel about female empowerment, and just that, we don't need to rely on anybody else to get the success or wealth or love or whatever it is that we feel that we need. Like, we can do it on our own.
Because there is a lot of that at the moment, isn't there? Is that kind of there's a lot of women that still think they have to depend on a man, or because there was one lyric in it where it was like, even if you're single, you can still say no, basically, or you don't have to say yes. And I just thought even women in couples and relationships that can relate to it, because you can still be independent while you're in a relationship, right?
100%. Like, and that really is the message of it. It's like, if you're single, you don't have to say yes. You can be on your own, and you can be fine, and you can be independent. But even if you are in a relationship, it's owning who you are and what drives you and your passion, and being strong and independent on your own. Like, whether a man is in your life or not, goes both ways.
Yeah. And are you in a relationship at the moment?
I'm dating,
okay.
And I'm happy. So it's been a fun, interesting roller coaster ride. But yeah, I am dating.
Are you living in the UK at the moment, Ashley?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I've been in the UK over the last year and a half, so it's been home.
Wow, brilliant. Are you enjoying it?
I am. Yeah, I just, with my music and everything that's happening over here, I feel really creative by kind of the electricity of the city and the people and the fashion, and it's different from what I know, and so it's stimulating to me, and it inspires me.
Yeah. Do you miss home?
Of course, yeah. I miss home because I miss my friends and my family, and different comforts of home. But I just really, I'm so grateful for so many things that are happening right now in my life. And like I said, I feel creative and inspired over here. And as much as I do miss and love home, I can always go back, and people have come and visit me. My parents have come and visit me, and friends and stuff. And, I just like the fact too that I've kind of just taken leaps of faith and seen what can happen over here, and just that I've kind of lived my life on taking chances and stuff, and I enjoy that. I think my parents support me in that as well. So.
Did I see you on Celebrity Catchphrase the other day?
Oh God. Oh my God. Well, first of all, like sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'll go on these game shows, and then I get there, I'm like, I really don't know, a lot of the British catchphrases or lingos or sometimes, and I'm like, okay. And I just remember they told me, well, like, say what you see. So I would just start saying things like, and I didn't do so well. Even the one that they like tried to give me, I was like way over my head.
To be fair, we're like that as well when we're watching it, so it's not just you. But you were raising money at the time, was it for your brother? And he has, correct me if I'm wrong, is it a mental illness of some sort?
Well, I was raising money for Mind, which is a charity and an organization that helps people that suffer from mental illness themselves or has a family member or loved one that suffers from mental illness. It's a place to call. It's a place to have someone because, yeah, my brother does suffer from mental illness and has been in a home for several years now. He's diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, and it is a situation where as a family member you feel a bit helpless and hopeless and at times, and just Mind is just a great organization to have someone to kind of talk to that can maybe help you out through certain times and situations where you feel like you need someone to lean on. Yeah. And now being so far over here, I don't get to see him as much because he's in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm from, and in his home, so I see him when I can. But sure. It is a struggle and it is tough, and I hadn't spoken about it until I got out of the jungle and they kind of dug through, I guess, some stuff to pull up from media. And I kind of got shocked by it, but then I was like, maybe this is happening for a reason for me to speak up about it. And, maybe other people are going through this or suffering from a loved one going through it. So I'm just trying to do what I can because there's not a whole lot you can do. So
yeah, definitely.
I think that's all. On some of those shows, even though I don't do very well, it at least brings some, attention towards the organization.
Going back to the album, so Butterfly Effect. Did you choose the name for that?
I did. It was an interesting story, though. We were trying to come up with the album title, and that's kind of a very personal thing, and what is going to represent the album. And me and my A&R kind of left each other. We'd written down a bunch of stuff, and then I came across this image that I had stored in my file way back when, and the title of it was Butterfly Effect. And I've had a huge connection to butterflies my whole life, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper. And I saw my A&R that night, and he goes, well, I want to discuss with you some titles. I have some ideas. I'm like, well, I have an idea as well. And he's like, okay, well, you show me first. I showed it to him, and he goes, I shit you not. He goes, I wrote this down by my computer, and he had the guy at the label take a picture of it and send it to me, and we both had the same name, and we're like, oh,
no.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was just one of those crazy synchronicity kind of moments where I'm like, that's it, it's done.
That's insane.
Well, it started off with just when I see them, even as a little kid, I would get this very peaceful, calm feeling within myself, where I just felt like very at peace, and I kind of started to search into it. And I was like, well, what are these creatures? And butterflies represent transformation, and it's going through stuff in life, stuff that might have been hard times, or stuff with my family, or romance, or whatever it had been. And I kind of made it love and transformation my mantra to myself, just to use whatever I've gone through in life to try and transform it into a positive, and to grow and evolve and be a better me. And they come into this life being a caterpillar and just inching their way through life so slowly, and then become this butterfly and get to fly for the other part of their life. And I just find that so amazing, that they actually go through this lifetime being two kinds of creatures. So they've just been something that, and I think they're beautiful as well. Little moments where I know that I'm being like guided, or I'm being just at the right place at the right time. And they've just been my kind of little like angels and guides and stuff. Jungle and having things in my life that affected me in certain ways, like it just makes sense for the album to be called that. What's your favourite song of your album? I know you're releasing Woman Up, but what's like the one that affects you, that gets you the most? It kind of varies sometimes because there's certain ones for certain reasons that I love so much. All in a Day to me is like really my kind of groovy side that I don't get to showcase that much. So that one was special to me. Plus I did it in LA before I even got to London. So it's the one song I had done on my own before getting involved with Metropolis. But Face of Love is this ballad that's really stripped down, and it's just me and like a piano and a cello.
Wow.
And I felt very vulnerable in the studio because it was like the first time where I really felt like it started to click and I was connecting to my music again. And I had gone through a situation with a boy a while back that had really affected me, and it just kind of hit a chord. That one to me, I think, is my most vulnerable. But then again, Lonely Nights is probably the most true song of my story, which I was kind of scared to write about, but I tried to flip it into a positive, once again, like the chorus kind of listened to like a universal type message, but the lyrics are kind of cryptid with my story and my life and what I kind of dealt with growing up. So that's the thing, it's hard to choose one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It sounds like the album's almost, very representative of a journey for you, and it sounds beautiful. I'm actually really looking forward to listening to it as a whole.
Well, Clockwork was debut. I mean, I really wanted to prove to myself that vocally I could go in there and represent myself in a strong vocal way, and just to prove as well that I've grown as an artist, and that I'm not just the girl that can dance and be the background kind of thing. I wanted to be like, I am strong and I've grown and I've evolved as an artist and as a human being. So Clockwork is a debut, but Woman Up, I think, is just kind of like, okay, I'm back, and now I'm ready to kind of get back in the game as far as showing that I can be an all-around entertainer. But Clockwork to me was very special to come out as the first one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I saw Woman Up, it was just a massive punch in the face to everyone that's ever maybe doubted you. Do you know what I mean? It is such it's a really strong and powerful video. And got to say, even though this isn't the focus of everything, you do look incredible in it. Do you have some kind of like exercise regime or a special crazy diet that you're on, or are you just one of those lucky people?
I do work hard. I mean, and I try to maintain a balance in my diet and stuff. And I work out at W10 Performance, which is like a results-based it's a gym that doesn't have any mirrors, and I go in with these guys, and I do metabolic, I do circuit, I do different classes and stuff, and I've noticed a big difference in my body by doing these workouts with them, and definitely give them a lot of props. I do hot yoga as well. I really enjoy that for stretching and detoxing, and you can burn a lot of calories in that as well. But then diet, I just, especially if I have a gig coming up or something going on, I try to really get clean and lean with like different proteins and veg and greens and quinoa and just stuff that like I know is good for the body, good to fuel me in good ways. If I want to go out and have a Mexican, fiesta with my friends, like I allow myself to do that. But because I do consider myself someone that likes to live a healthy, active lifestyle, I try to keep it, balanced.
Yeah.
Just because if I have something come up, like all of a sudden they threw a shoot on Sunday, it's like, okay, I at least feel like I'm
prepared.
Okay, and I'm not like that. Yeah, because the crash diets can kill you a bit, so I try to keep it somewhat balanced.
I shall leave you to your sofa shopping. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to Pop Scoop.
Well, it's lovely speaking to you, and
Bye.
Pop Scoop.